Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are here for another live. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Dgotsauce. We are on episode 6. And I just want to get this out the way, right? Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you comment down below on your thoughts on any of the videos that I release. Y'all went a little crazy on the last video that I released about the migrants. You know, I saw the comments and I was like, you know what? Y'all might have some points in there. And for the trolls, I love you. But make sure you leave a like, man. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Dgotsauce. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, of course, as usual. You know, I hope you guys are having a great day. And I had a great day. I had a great day today. You know, I didn't do much, but I did a lot. And that is all that matters. When you get some stuff done day by day, you feel accomplished. And I feel very accomplished today. But we're going to pick up off the first video. We're going to pick up from where we left off last stream. Because it seems like Kensington Ave needs more of our attention. So let's go back into the video that we were watching yesterday and continue to see what's going on in these streets of Philadelphia. Again, make sure you tune in. Make sure you leave that like. Make sure you leave those comments, because I do like to respond to the comments, and this is free speech here, so y'all can say whatever y'all need to say. All right, let's tune in. Let's tune back in. If y'all haven't seen the video, the first part of this video, I will be uploading it very shortly. If not, you guys can tune into the live that I did previously. But let's get into it.
You see that water right there? Yeah, that's that money right there. See, my guy ain't moving.
Do you kind of moderate like how much you put into the fentanyl packets?
Yes, you got to. You don't want to kill them. You want them to enjoy themselves. You don't want to kill them.
You think Trank's like a pretty enjoyable experience?
Yeah.
It causes an anesthetic effect, so lower heart rate, a sense of calming. It almost rivals that of heroin.
Interesting.
And they don't go through harsh withdrawals.
What does Trank feel like?
Trank makes me feel like I'm asleep. Honestly, it's kind of like a daze. I'm from like the heroin days. You know, I'm in it for the rush. You know, the euphoric rush from the drugs. Trank really doesn't offer that, but what it does offer is a cheap nod.
How much is a single dose of Trank?
A single dose of Trank, like in a adult bag form?
Yeah.
$10, $5 to $10.
Oh, $5 for a bag of fentanyl mixed with tranquilizer.
How many do you think you sell a day?
Hundreds of thousands.
From a distribution standpoint, the Trank brothers supply between 15.
This guy is making over $50,000 a day just from selling Trank in the Philadelphia streets. Now, if you guys have not heard about this Trank stuff, Trank is pretty much tranquilizer. So what they're doing in Philadelphia right now on Kensington Ave in particular, they are filling the streets with fentanyl mixed with tranquilizer. Can you believe that? And these people are out here buying it for $5 a bag. Let's continue.
To 20 blocks in Philadelphia every day with their own bundles of Trank. They estimate that each block alone sells 10,000 doses.
So if a block doing 100 bundles, and there's 14 bags in a bundle, that's about 10,000 packets.
This economy generates $500,000 every day. But as we saw, costs many customers their lives and limbs.
Or have you seen the effects of it on people's body?
Yes, that's just like that, and it's not good. Normally, if you do it the right way, it won't happen like that. But if you miss, it will tear your ass up.
Do you feel any sense of like responsibility for that?
No responsibility.
How come?
because I'm not the one that's giving it to them directly.
So you have other people.
No, no, sir. You are the one that's giving it to them directly. You are the one that's you're the plug. What you mean you're not giving it to them directly? They coming through you. Like you coming through the vet. They coming through you for the trank. And this is crazy.
That work for you.
Yes, I do.
How many people do you think work under you?
50 average.
What's like their average age typically?
Average age, teenagers, dealers, teenagers, older people, yeah, sometimes, but they normally the drug addicts.
I see you have some protection on you here.
Yeah, got to all the time. Glocks, Smith & Wessons, nuclear, everything, whatever we can get our hands on. The Glocks is our favorite. They are very, very reliable. There's a lot of robbers. Everybody can't get their hands on this stuff.
Why is it so hard to get this stuff?
Why? Yeah, because we stingy. You're not gonna show everybody. We don't want everybody getting our money. So when they see people that got blocks that's want real good numbers, they like to rob the hustlers. And when they rob the hustlers, they messing with me. And therefore, I gotta take care of them.
How do you take care of stuff?
Normally death. Normally death.
You ever shot anybody before?
Yes, sir.
The way he just said it just so calmly is just like, yeah, I get robbed. I got to take care of him. How do you take care of him? Oh, we kill him. We kill him. That's all we got to do. We just kill him.
How was that experience?
I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't remember.
How'd you first start doing this?
Friends, poverty, no cash, and seeing that they like it better than dope.
How would you describe your upbringing like in general?
Regular, nothing crazy. Regular poverty.
How about your like home life?
Regular, it wasn't enough.
How old were you think when you first started to just like figure you didn't want to work a regular job?
Never worked a regular job.
Really?
Never.
Not even for like one shift at Starbucks?
No.
How long have you been doing this for?
I'd say about 10 years.
How do you feel about what's going on in K&A?
I'm not really too far from that area, but I know my stuff is over there, and they loving it. You know, some people got dope. Some people got dope with trank. Some people got dope with fentanyl. So what you get your hands on.
I forgot to mention, trank prices are kept fixed by the cartel. The original crooked veterinarian at the top of the supply chain doesn't sell to the Trank brothers or anyone directly. They sell wholesale to a broker who works for a Mexican drug cartel.
What are those guys like?
Sturdy, very sturdy. They wouldn't do what I'm doing.
Do they kind of control things on like a high level?
Yes, they do. Prices, people's lives.
For my own safety, I don't want to say which one, but the cartel sets a fixed price for xylazine bottles and closely monitors trank as it travels down the supply chain, particularly as it moves from the Trank brothers onto the blocks, like Kensington. If any blocks are found to be cutting and weakening trank to maximize profit or getting xylazine from outside veterinarians, they would almost instantly be killed, and the cartel doesn't have to do it themselves.
They can get you touched without even being here.
Really?
Yes, sir. They'll drop the price.
Just like a bag on somebody's head?
Yeah, no problem.
And that word just kind of circulates around?
In the past year, though, this market has become increasingly difficult to regulate due to an overseas manufacturer called Han Hong Pharmaceuticals, which is an unregulated company based in Wuhan, China. This company, which should be a household name, is funded directly by the infamous Wuhan Institute of Virology. But I like having a YouTube channel, so I'm going to save my cross-analysis for a later date. Anyways, Han Hong Pharmaceuticals was recently revealed to be the company solely responsible for selling fentanyl precursors to the Mexican drug cartels.
Whoa. Can we talk about this? China's the reason why we're getting all this fentanyl in the United States? And they're pushing it through the cartel? They must be making a lot of money.
Who then bake these chemicals in a laboratory into pills and powder to import into the United States. Because of the success of the open-air trank market in Philadelphia, this company recently figured out about xylazine. And so, about a year ago, Han Hong began selling their own variant of xylazine, but instead of liquid, in a powder form for only $20 a kilo, which they've been attempting to sell to drug dealers in Philadelphia on platforms like Telegram and WhatsApp. Unlike the trade of fentanyl, which requires the cartel as a middleman to bake the precursors, Han Hong's invention of powdered xylazine allows them to cut out the cartel as a middleman and sell directly to dealers. For a period of time, this was a real game changer for trank dealers.
They can get it off the internet. They can order it from anywhere. And what's sad is you don't even have to be in the veterinarian field to receive it through the mail from Chinese dealers.
However, this majorly weakened the control of the cartel, who had already set a fixed price for liquid xylazine bottles, leading them to impose a death sentence on anyone caught receiving or trading powdered Chinese xylazine. This green light on someone's life, however, is imposed remotely. Because Philadelphia is so poor, all the cartel has to do is contact the city's gang leaders through private channels with someone's picture, their name, and a price. In the following days, a feeding frenzy for that person's life will ensue.
All this just to be like a zombie, all this killing, all this money making, just so people could stand on the streets looking crazy. What do y'all think about this, man?
Gunmen firing dozens of shots in broad daylight, killing a 19-year-old man who was sitting on some steps.
From an outside perspective, it may look like gang warfare or just simply black-on-black crime, but it's actually a proxy war between Chinese corporations and Mexican drug cartels. For this reason, the advent of Trank in Philadelphia has led to a major spike in homicides, and almost nobody has a bigger target on their head than the Trank brothers.
What are your aspirations like for your whole life?
Well, I get in and get out. I've been in for quite a while, but since the Trank and the fentanyl have been here, profit's been very, very, very skyrocket. So I assume I've been doing this too long, but yeah, until then, I got to do what I got to do.
So you do think you'll get out of the dope game eventually?
Yes, I will.
What do you want to do when you're out?
Get a business. I like cars. I like fancy cars.
What's your favorite kind of car?
Now they always say this. What are you gonna do when you get out the dope game? Oh, I'm gonna run a business. I'm gonna be clean. I'm gonna be legit. But they never do that. They never are clean. They never stop selling the dope. It's just a cycle. And, you know, there's only one way they're going to end up. Sorry, two. It's either in jail or, like he said, dead.
Dodge Charger, Hellcat, Grand Cherokee. I like money.
What's your favorite way to spend money, like after you get it?
On my bitches. Bitches, food, fancy cars, jewelry.
Like taking girls out to restaurants?
Yes. Hell yeah.
What kind of food do you like?
I like pastas. I like pizza. I like steak.
Sick.
Most important, lamb. I'm a lamb type guy.
Oh, nice. What do you think's the best place in Philly to get lamb?
Lamb? Here. Like dark-skinned woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attitude or more calm?
Both.
Nice.
Only you know how to fucking listen.
Have you ever tried this stuff before?
Fuck no. Would never.
You think drugs are harmful?
Yes, it is harmful.
How come?
We don't like it. Why? And look, you see what it's doing? It's killing everybody.
Do you feel any sense of like responsibility?
No. They're gonna fucking buy it off me. You wanna sell drugs tomorrow, that's what they're gonna buy it off of. You too. All kids stay away from drugs. All kids stay away from drugs.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
At least he's preaching the right message here. Although he's selling it, he's still telling the kids to stay out the drugs, which I guess you got to give him some type of props for that. I guess you got to give him some type of props. No, sir. No, sir. We ain't giving you no props.
Thanks for your time.
After leaving the Trank brothers' house, I felt conflicted. On one hand, you could say that they're evil.
I do think it's evil. They're taking advantage of people that have addiction problems, mental illness.
They're producing a drug that destroys people's lives and bodies. But on the other hand, even they have caveats that protect them from responsibility and give them an ethical high ground no matter what. For example, they say Trank users don't go through harsh withdrawals.
And they don't go through harsh withdrawals.
Meaning they're providing a less painful experience than a typical fentanyl dealer. However, we learned from Dr. Cartwright, this is not true.
The come down from that drug is so horrific and painful for them, they'll check themselves out of the hospital and start all over again.
They also claim that necrotizing fasciitis only sets in if you miss a vein.
If you do it the right way, it won't happen like that. But if you miss, it will tear your ass up.
Meaning it's all the fault of the user for not doing it right. This is also false.
It's more likely to happen if you miss a vein, but regardless, it will occur.
And most interestingly, they say that if they don't do it, someone else will, framing themselves as powerless cogs in the drug machine.
They're gonna fucking buy it off of me. You want to sell drugs tomorrow? That's what they're gonna buy it off of. You too, man.
I believe that at one point, probably early on, they realized that making trank was wrong. But after seeing such astronomical profits come in, their brains constructed protective pathways to shield their souls from guilt and flood their conscience with the same affirmation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They now are at the stage where they don't feel any type of remorse. They don't think that they're doing anything wrong, and they are making a bunch of money off of it. So why stop? That's exactly how they're looking at it, and I kind of blame them for a lot.
Yes, what I'm selling is harmful, but if I stop, somebody will take my position. Therefore, it is not wrong for me to profit from this, because even if I abstain from selling it, the market will continue. It all reflects a deeply antisocial, alienated, nihilistic worldview in which the individual has absolutely no power in influencing or changing the trajectory of a doomed society. Recognizing the spiritual sickness that runs through the veins of this collapsing country, greed, death, and decay become seen as absolutes. And so the alienated individual figures, they're just temporary placeholders for an omnipresent evil, an evil that will exist with or without them. I began to wonder if this psychology was shared by even more heinous criminals, like child traffickers or elephant poachers. Does anybody actually accept, embrace, and consciously spread evil, or do they all construct frameworks to avoid moral responsibility? And speaking of moral responsibility, what are the ethics behind what I'm doing? Is my coverage of places like Kensington unethical and kind of fucked up? Since making my last video in San Francisco, I've become aware of an entire side of the internet, particularly YouTube, that films homeless people under the guise of humanization and does huge numbers, and understandably so. Poverty is pornographic. The difference is you don't generally jerk off to homeless content or hood vlogs, but it tantalizes a similarly curious part of the brain that gets excited by the forbidden and dangerous. For that reason, Kensington is pretty much the #1 homeless YouTube content zone in the country. In fact, there's like 50 YouTube documentaries up right now, just like this one.
You know, hay un chico que se encuentra mal y a ver si lo puede ayudar. Está desnudo.
Which all follow pretty much the same marketing strategy. City of Zombies, further dehumanizing Americans suffering from necrotizing fasciitis, and purposely using salacious language to collect ad revenue from views, which because of our declining...
Listen, I wasn't thinking the same thing, but I was just like, man, this is interesting. Why are these people taking tranquilizer like it is water? Why are these people taking these type of drugs and nobody is saying anything about it? Why are these people taking these type of drugs and nobody's trying to find out who the dealer is besides this guy? Is anybody gonna stop this? Is the mayor, is the governor of Philly doing anything about this? Those are questions that all of us are asking.
Attention span, which also comes as a result of a Chinese psyop called TikTok, are best driven by clickbait titles and shocking keyframes. Upon further investigation, it would appear that Kensington's largest export besides trank is definitely content, a two-syllable term that represents the transformation of art into a flat commodity, of which value is determined solely by engagement, not quality. Meaning a content creator could realize that the product he's selling is bad for society, but so long as the market demand is there, he will continue. You see where I'm going with this? The Trank brothers aren't the only ones profiting from human suffering in Kensington. And many locals feel that much of the content filmed here does much more harm than it does good for the neighborhood.
Well, everybody I see on YouTube that come down here and get some...
Question of the day. What are you doing then, sir? Because you were doing YouTube content about this same situation. And I'm pretty sure you profited off of it. So, are you going to bring yourself to the front of the congregation too?
Content, I feel as though it's not for the right intentions. They don't ask the right questions. They just record. They try to get the best video. They try to go viral. They try to get attention to their channel. But the message
ain't what it's supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying?
What's up, bro? How you doing? Good to meet you.
There's a lot of originals right here. Everybody that walked up is literally from down here, like literally 20 plus years.
Yeah, I lived down here all my life type shit.
Now I'm having motion blanks fast for that. Baby, I'm a rapper, I don't trap. Little cat, and a nigga crack. You can clap that. Cracks and silk, I'm drinking juice in my ass. Fuck the money up.
I'm watching my man hot. He don't even rap, but for the camera though, he was nice.
Hey, that was fire.
Yeah, definitely was, man.
No, it wasn't. So why y'all lying for, man? You guys acting. Y'all are some actors. Y'all are some actors. That wasn't fire, but let's continue.
So growing up here, what was it like, man?
Hell. If I can describe one word, hell.
In what sense?
Niggas' moms dying, niggas dying from
And to be honest,
before the early 90s, this used to be a Caucasian neighborhood.
And there was my story. Yes, it was a Caucasian neighborhood. This was Kensington in 1982. You're probably asking yourself, what the hell happened? It's a long story, but let's get into it. As a Philadelphia native myself who grew up in a neighborhood called Fairmount, just a 15-minute drive from Kensington, I've always been aware of the chaotic, corrupt, and confusing history of Philadelphia. And at some point while discussing the history of Kensington with locals, I realized that was the true story that needed coverage. It's obvious to the naked eye that Kensington is horrifying, but few ask the question, how did it get like this? Unlike San Francisco's Tenderloin, which is mainly a result of neglect and progressive policy, Kensington is a story of police corruption, deep-rooted segregation, and now is the face of a blatant scheme by property developers associated with Temple University, who've laid out a 5-year plan to revitalize the Kensington corridor. 6 blocks down the street from the open-air drug market across Lehigh Avenue, developers have already begun mass buyouts of property, both residential and commercial, and the police, in turn, are helping them to displace homeless people and push them further up the street toward the open-air drug market. With this in mind, it's quite obvious that the city is allowing the open-air drug market to flourish in order to lower property values and drive out local residents and businesses. That way, they can buy it up at a low cost, then begin enforcing drug laws, push addicts further away, and turn Kensington into a full-blown gentrified corridor.
That's what they need to do. I might be the only one thinking this. Not I can't be clearly because they're doing it. But that's what they need to do. They need to get all these people off the streets, put them somewhere else, maybe in a rehab center. Put them there, let them do their thing in there, let them get better, help them out, watch over them. And if they decide to get back on the streets, they get back on the streets. But it's not going to be Kensington Ave. It'll have to be somewhere else because Kensington Ave ain't like that no more. We got dogs and we got families now. We got all this good stuff coming into Kensington Ave. We don't want no more crack or trank. Let's continue.
Complete with juice bars, yoga studios, and so forth. Sounds crazy, but as you'll learn, for Philadelphia, this is regular. Let's go back to the year 1900. Back then, Philadelphia was a cesspool of rough and tumble European immigrants from countries like Ireland, Italy, Germany, and beyond. At this time, Philadelphia was 94.5% white and 72% foreign-born. Imagine that. One of these immigrants was my great-great-grandfather, Jeremiah Callahan, a poor Irish Catholic farm boy from Cork, Ireland. After the potato famine, Jeremiah hatched a plan to catch a boat to the New World and ended up settling in West Philadelphia in a row home with 7 children and 1 bathroom. Despite overcrowding, Philadelphia became known as the paradise of the skilled worker. Wages were high, and Philadelphia emerged as the center of manufacturing for many industries, but most notably, Kensington was the center of the textile industry, with the Beatty factory, which employed over 100,000 people in 1915. But after World War I kicked off and the Great Depression followed in 1928, Philadelphia experienced what is called de-industrialization, as factories shut down, and for whatever reason, the textile industry moved to the American South. By 1935, Philadelphia lost 2/3 of all manufacturing jobs, leading to mass unemployment and significant urban decay. Many of these European immigrants, who believed that America would be paradise, found themselves jobless and pissed off. Now, simultaneously, 6 million African Americans were leaving the South, heading north to cities like Chicago, Detroit, and of course, Philadelphia. This was called the Great Migration. This migration drastically changed the demographics of Philadelphia.
So you telling me African Americans migrated to
Now, it's important to remember that before this, 91% of African Americans lived in the South. And while slavery was technically abolished in 1865 after the collapse of the Confederacy, the following decades proved to be no less difficult for Southern blacks. The white, formerly slave-holding majority in the South fought viciously against black integration during the Reconstruction era. They formed organizations like the Ku Klux Klan, a vigilante group of terrorists whose foundational goal was to prevent black Americans from voting or achieving political power. Almost all of the initial KKK members were former Confederate soldiers. And in just 2 decades, they assassinated hundreds of politicians and lynched 4,600 civilians. Sharecropping also was running rampant, and Jim Crow laws were militantly enforced by the police, Klan, and just ordinary white citizens. Anyways, black Southerners had a million reasons to leave the South, so they did. However, when they arrived to Philadelphia, they were not in paradise. They found themselves in a very different, but still quite hostile environment, which makes sense given the fact that they immigrated in the midst of an economic decline and were seen as a threat to job security. In 1939, World War II begins, just as black population in Philadelphia hits 11%. Millions of men, both black and white, go to war. Then, in 1945, the war ends and all the troops come home. President Roosevelt signed something into law called the GI Bill, aka the Servicemen's Readjustment Act, which provides a wide range of benefits for returning veterans. Most importantly, the GI Bill provided low-cost mortgages and generous financial aid that made it possible.
All right. Cool. Not really worried about what the GI Bill did and all these stuff. I just wanted to see the zombies, I'll be honest with you. I just wanted to see the zombies, I'll be honest with you. But it's all good. Thank you again for tuning in. It's your boy Dgotsauce. We appreciate your viewership over here. Make sure you leave a like on your way in. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you comment down below to your thoughts, because we always want to hear what the world is saying, what the people think. This is free speech over here, so type away. This next video though, I know y'all heard about this, man. I know y'all already heard about this, because this is old, but anybody hear about the judge getting jumped on? She got frog splashed. Anybody hear about that judge getting frog splashed, getting speared on live television? Oh man, let's tune into this.
But I do think prison is appropriate. I asked the court to impose 1948 on this case based on the criminal history and facts in this case.
Okay. Mr. Redden, is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce sentence?
So basically, I would like to tell the courts and everyone here, like, based on my criminal history, like, I feel that, like, I shouldn't be, like, sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? Have you looked at your criminal history?
I actually just, I looked at it.
I mean, you lived it, I suppose.
I just looked at it, yeah.
Yeah. 3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
All right. Well, we gotta point this part out right here. This guy is not just a criminal; he is a full-time criminal. So you could be talking all the talk you want, sir, but you need to go to jail. You need to go to jail for a long time.
I just figured, like,
Battery on a protected person, robberies, attempt home invasion. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just.
I just figured, like, I'm in a better place in my mind, my mental health. I have a support system. That the reason behind every single domestic violence, I've been dealing with mental health. And I didn't know that I was dealing with mental health. And they put me in mental health court, and I still didn't know that I had a mental health problem until it was August.
All right, can we talk about this, because mental health has been such a big thing these last couple years. Like growing up, mental health was never a thing. It was either you was crazy or you was regular. Now, because everybody got emotions and they need to be feeling, they need to let their inner femininity be expressed. Mental health has just taken over every single person's life. It don't make sense to me. Now you need therapy 24/7. Now you need drugs for your mental health problems. Now you need to sit down and talk about your feelings. And when I was growing up in high school and middle school, you would be considered soft. You'd be considered food. They would pick on you, they would bully you, and they'd let you know straight up, stop being weak. Stop being weak. So this mental health stuff talk, I feel like everybody is going to be using it. Obviously, if one person says, "Oh, I killed this person, but I had mental problems. I was mentally unstable at the time. Now I'm in a better mental state because I have better people around me to hold me accountable for my actions." The next person that kills somebody is going to say the same thing. And what we're supposed to just sit here and say, "Oh yeah, he had mental issue problems. He's good." No, mental issues or not, bro, you're crazy. But let's continue.
2022, when I realized I have a problem with this, and like having a dictionary and like understanding myself, getting to know myself a little better, and applying it to my personality, and having an epiphany at that moment, those instances, and just like trying to learn from my mistakes, you know. And I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. But I figure that, you know, if I'm in a better place in my life, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not out there committing crimes now, and I feel like I should be given a shot.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of
He is
something else,
pleading
because
his case.
I just can't with that history. In accordance with
And
the laws of the state of Addiscott.
we gotta replay that. We gotta replay that.
Because I just can't with that history.
She was like, "Oh, I just can't, sir.
I think
I
it's
just
time that
can't
you
with
get
that
a
history."
taste of something else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Addiscott.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna say he's in the wrong. I mean, clearly he's in the wrong. But I'm not gonna say he shouldn't have done that. But I understand. I'm not saying that he's right. I'm not saying that he should have done that. I'm just saying I understand. You trying to plead your case. You're trying to tell the judge this, that, and this. I have a clean record now. I've been doing good. I've been off the drugs. I've been off the trank. I'm not committing crimes anymore. Give me a second chance. Or 15th chance, however the case may be. And she's like, nah. I ain't hearing nothing you saying. Here's the sentence. And then before he could even get the sentence, he's like, nah, F that. F that. Beep. Frog splash. And I know he got a couple kicks in there too. Stuff that's happening out here is wild. The stuff that's happening out here is wild. Oh man. But we thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like on your way in. Make sure you leave a like on your way out. We got one more topic of the night, and we're going to end this off in the one way we should always end it off, and that is talking about these migrants. But today, a New York mother begs Biden, please, Biden, take action on these migrants. We need your help. We need your help, Mr. President. Although you let them all in, we need your help as these good American citizens who have been paying their taxes on time. Why are you letting these immigrants in? That's not my words. These are hers. Let's get to it.
Heard the story this week about a New York City high school who booted its students for a day. They went to remote learning because a high school principal named Jody Cohen at James Madison High School brought in illegal immigrants for an overnight stay, she says, due to flooding in heavy torrential rain in New York City. This is on Tuesday. Well, she's received a lot of pushback. She's received a lot of backlash in response to that decision, booting American students in favor of illegal immigrants. She said the following.
First of all, why is my teacher doing this? I don't understand. I can't see why my teacher would take it out of her hands to bring people that we don't know, a bunch of, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but a bunch of homeless people into the school that my kids is trying to learn in. We gotta talk about this. We can't just let this teacher do this and get away with it like this is like she's saving the day because there was rain. They chose to be out there. That's just the honest truth.
On a Zoom call, she said, please know that I put your kids first. I do what I do because I care about children. And I find it offensive that people are putting things on that chat. I don't understand how people who never come on a Zoom like this could take an opportunity like this evening to throw mud. This is for one night. One night. So she turns the tables and claims she is offended. Yeah.
But also, the illegal migrants are staying on the football field, I understand, or the field at the school. And so it rained and they brought them into the building. So it's not like we need it for one night and then they're not on the campus. They're on the school campus.
I don't think.
No, I'm taking my kids out of school. I'm taking my kids out of the class. I'm filing a complaint on this teacher because she thought that she could be Captain Save the Day. But no, listen, they chose to come here to be homeless. And this is with all due respect because, I understand what they're going through. I understand what opportunity they're looking for. But at the same time, you're on a football field right now. It is definitely cold outside. It's raining. And you're here trying to make it. The homeless people in Kensington Ave are chilling right now. The homeless people in Kensington, They are chilling. They're shot up. They got trank in them. It don't matter if it's cold outside, raining outside. They gonna be outside, and nobody's bringing. No teacher in Philly is coming to the front of the congregation talking about we need to bring these people inside the kids' classroom for shelter. No, I want my kids out of that classroom right as soon as possible.
think it's a field at school. It was like an airfield that they were at.
Oh,
And then they got,
I thought it was the school
well,
field.
here's part of what you'll get. We had one of the moms and a daughter reacting to this move, and I think they clarify. Because to your point, though, Rachel, why do you have these illegals in this horrible place where they have to then be moved because of weather?
Right. Why do you have a policy that allows them into the country, but you don't have a place for them?
Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to talk about this. Biden, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Biden? You letting all these people in to the place, to the U.S., and you just letting them in here to do what they want to do. You're paying for some of them to stay in hotels. You got camps for them. You got food for them. And there's too many. There is too many for you to handle. There's too many for the U.S. to handle. But y'all think this was about to be sweet? Y'all thought that they was just gonna come over here and they were just gonna start taking our jobs. They were just gonna start doing what they had to do to become better, to become citizens of the United States. Y'all thought that this was just about to be easy going. This don't make no sense. They're just adding more homelessness. They're adding more people to a population that is already packed, especially in New York City. And now you guys can see, as we can all see, this is out of pocket. This is unorganized chaos. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where to put them now. They don't know who to send them, what state to send them to. People is fighting in lines to get shelter. People is fighting to get food. These people don't even know what they're going to be doing anymore for the next couple of weeks. It's chaotic out there.
But then, yeah, and then in the first place, you build a shelter in a terrible place. So here's the mom and the daughter reacting to the move of this principal on Thursday on Fox and Friends.
I will be fine, but it's also a day that I could have spent learning, and especially with exams around the corner, I could have been better prepped for it. And instead, I was home and doing assignments and not even interacting with the teachers.
Why does James Madison or any other school, for example, has to bear the burden of the city's migrant crisis? I mean, Floyd Benefit Field is vulnerable to all weather conditions. So what does that mean? That my child's school will be their shelter this winter? The problem is the government seems to prioritize.
No. Finally, someone is standing up in New York City saying, I don't want these immigrants at my child's school where she is supposed to be learning mathematics, preparing for college. I don't want them there. I don't want them in the same rooms as my 13-year-old kid who is excellent at Taekwondo. She's looking forward to going to Harvard. No. I agree with you, ma'am. I agree with you.
Migrant families over their own law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. I mean, I feel for the migrant families, I really do. But this is another example of our elected officials not being in touch with the people. I'm asking the government, I'm asking the president, I mean, please look at what's going on.
Biden, please. Biden, please. Please, Biden, I'm begging you, please, Biden. At least say something about these immigrants. At least say something, Biden. Tell me there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel because right now, Biden, they taking over the school. They taking over the churches, Biden. They taking over the baseball fields and the basketball courts. They doing it all, Biden. And my kid just wants to learn.
Going on in our own neighborhoods, in our own city.
You know, it's just deal with it. It's going to happen. You're going to lose your schools. You're going to lose your city services. You're going to lose your tax dollars. The city of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson won't commit to not raising taxes because of the illegal immigrant crisis. Deal with it.
You're just saying, welcome to third world.
This is sad. Deal with it. This is what he's saying on live television. You hard tax paying people, you just got to deal with it. Because Biden ain't saying nothing. Kamala Harris ain't saying nothing. But you know what? They is going to shoot Trump in the foot because Trump's saying something about it. Just being honest with you.
I'm just telling you, like, 1 + 1 is 2. You know, this is how it works. If you have a southern border that is open and you have a policy that incentivizes illegal immigrants to come, and I'm not being callous towards that mother and child. I'm saying it's like you jump off a cliff, you fall. Okay, this is what happens. If it happens at the southern border, it's going to happen here and there and everywhere.
But
you
you know
can't
where it
pretend
doesn't
like
happen?
this is a problem while pretending that's not a problem.
Do you know where it doesn't happen, Will? It doesn't happen in the shishi private schools of the elite Democrats who are most in support of this policy.
Of course not. Of course it's not going to happen there. They better not go there because then it's going to be a real issue. It's going to be a real issue if they go there because, you know, the Democrats, they're the reason why this stuff is happening. I don't want to just blame Biden because, I'm trying to have the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he said, okay, let's let a few of them in there, and they ended up letting too many in, and now he's trying to backtrack it. I'm not trying to pin him to the cross because I could pin him to the cross really, but this is just common sense. You let a bunch of people in your cities without a background check, without any information about where they stand, who they know, nothing, and we're just letting them in. Now they're coming to our schools, they're coming to our gas stations, they're coming to our local Home Depots. You know why they coming to the local Home Depots? Because they're looking for work. They're looking for work, which is not a bad thing because sometimes you might need that Home Depot guy. It's always good to have a Home Depot guy just in case. I'm just being honest with you. But anyways, what do you guys expect? What do y'all expect? Y'all are looking for chaos. You're asking for chaos, and this is what it's going to lead to. But let's continue.
It's going to public schools. That's where they're having these issues. So I'm sorry. Let's see them go to some of these shishi schools here on the Upper East Side and see if they will house the migrants.
I'm just proud that there's still a James Madison High School in New York City. You know, take the wins where you can get them.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube.
Well. What can we say, man? What can we say? It doesn't seem to be getting better. It seems to be getting absolutely worse. Now, they're not just fighting over shelter, that the government is handing out. Now they are in your neighborhoods, in your everyday neighborhoods, going to your normal public school, and they're chilling. They're chilling. And I have, like I said, I don't want to seem like I have something against these guys. I don't have nothing against these migrants. I have nothing against immigrants. You know, I pray that they all find what they want and need. But we gotta secure our borders here, man. We gotta secure our borders. We can't just let everybody in. We don't know if we letting the cartel in. We don't know if we letting the Ecuadorians in. We don't know who we letting in. We just letting in people. And they are just flooding the streets. They haven't gotten to Boston yet. But I'm hearing they're on their way. I'm hearing they're on their way. Thank you guys for tuning in again, man. Make sure you guys leave a like. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all viewership. We just had to talk about that migrant crisis because it's not seeming to stop. It's not seeming to stop. Once again, I thank you guys for tuning in. We are here. It is 50 minutes in. And that was our last video. Make sure you guys tune in next time, man. We are streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. And we gonna talk about more of the stuff coming up. We're gonna talk about more of this stuff. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Tell me how you guys feel about these situations because we got to talk about this. I want to know what y'all mindset is. I want to know how y'all really feeling about everything we go over, whether it's the migration crisis, whether it's Kensington Ave, whether it's Trump versus Biden, because we know those are the only two again. But I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Subscribe to your boy Dgotsauce, man. It's another live stream in the books. Until next time, peace.